Hello, Henshin Heroes, Henshin Nation. It's been a while, hasn't it?
A long while, too long, some would say.
Too long. I found myself really missing these live streams, but life kept getting in the way. I had G Fest last week. I would have
Mhm.
tried to. I wanted to see if I could carve out the time. It just wasn't working. But and then life was getting in the way the few weeks before that. I kind of wish we had live streamed just before my birthday. I think that would have been kind of cool a couple weeks ago. But just to get introductions out of the way. Hello, I am Nathan Marchand, aka the Subro.
I'm Jake, aka the Metal Don.
And this is Henshin Power V3, where three friends have 3 minutes to talk about tokusatsu. Most of that tagline is a lie right now, because although given how much we have to catch up tonight, we may have to do the 3 minutes, the 3 minute rule. But
Yeah,
the good news is it sounds as though our partner in crime, Mr. Sentai guy himself, Christopher Reiner, will be back next week. I don't know if I will be back next week because the next 2 weeks I'm going to be stupid busy, but we'll see what I can do. I may just have to give the show over to you and Chris next week.
he better be back.
Yeah, it just
Swear.
doesn't feel the same without him, right?
Yeah, and I can't do this by myself.
Oh, even the Metal Don has limits.
Exactly.
The Metal Don has limits. His limit is he has no limits. Anyway, so
If Chris doesn't come back, I'll get Winja and Jonathan Courtright.
oh no. Oh no. I don't think the world's ready for that, sir. The world is not ready for that. I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared. Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, all right, let's not waste any time. Let's start off with our new Ultra series, Ultraman Teo. I kind of wish we had been able to get on it from the start with this, because man, we started this whole thing because you suggested a little over a year ago. It's like, hey, let's do live streams about Ultraman Omega. So we started
Yep.
doing that, and then Kamen Rider ZETZ surprised us and had simulcasts. So we're like, well, I guess we'll throw that in too. And we just kept it going because Omega finished, ZETZ was still going, it's still going. And then you're like, well, I guess we'll do New Generation Stars. I'm like, the clip shows, okay, whatever. But now the new Ultra series has started.
Yeah. So I know we love the design of Teo.
Yes.
What do you think about the first episode? Was it as strong as Blazar, Arc, Omega?
Yeah. So the first episode is called The Man Who Came from H12, and apparently that is the proper way to pronounce the name of his planet. It's H12, not H12. And and it aired on July 4th, ironically, so a week before Ultraman Day proper. And just to put it out there, because I think we talked about this before. I think we have a bunch of new people working on the show now compared to the past seasons. So I just want to mention that our director is Takashi Ninomiya, and our screenwriter is Shigenori Tanabe. All right. And our special effects guy this season is Takanori Sujimoto. All right. So got all that out of the way. As for this episode, I'm a big fan of this episode. I didn't watch it, but I saw a thumbnail for a YouTube video, or maybe it was a YouTube short or something, that tried to say, is this a perfect episode?
It was good. I don't think it was. I liked the first part where you saw his H12 get destroyed.
Yes.
I think that was the best part of it.
What I appreciated about this is that even though we do see the supporting cast, the science patrol, so to speak, the astronomy club at this university, we don't spend a lot of time with them. It is very focused on, let me make sure I get his name right. The Ibuki. Mitsuishi. It is very focused on him and shows us, like you were talking about at the beginning, it shows us basically his origin.
Yeah.
It's a very moody episode. I think my favorite shot of the whole thing, and it's from the trailer too, is when we see Ultraman Teo standing in the middle of the classroom, and the classroom is dark. We just see him from behind. And I think the greatest strength of the episode is how well it communicates without overdoing it, Ibuki's emotional state. He's lonely. And I get the impression, and this fascinates me, I get the impression he has a massive case of survivor's guilt. If it's not survivor's guilt, it might just be straight up guilt, because I get the feeling he's upset with himself for running, because that's what happens. He ran away. He's arguably a civilian Ultraman. He's not a soldier. He's not a warrior. He's just a regular, basically the Ultraman equivalent of a regular guy who ran away before the planet got blown up by Kaiju.
You would say he's Goku or Superman.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. And and now he's on Earth. He's trying to pass off as a human. And I feel like the reason he went to this veterinary school is because he needs something to take care of.
Yeah.
And it seems like animals is an easy thing for him to take care of.
Unless that's what he did.
Possibly. We don't know. Yeah. We don't know. All we know is that he's the only survivor, and it looks like he ran away.
Yeah.
And like I said, I really hope they start delving into that. But this episode, in a lot of ways, does remind me of the first episode of Blazar. I would also say the first episode of Blazar is pretty perfect as well. Mm-hmm. But what I feel like it has in common with the Blazar episode is that it feels different than the rest of the episodes that we've gotten so far. Because the premiere of Blazar is also really moody.
Yeah.
And kind of dark. And I was into it. The rest of the show wasn't quite like that, but I still enjoyed what we had quite a bit. And this one was like that to a certain extent. I just hope that this character stuff with Teo, they don't just forget about. I want to know more about this. I want to see Teo come into his own as a hero and wrestle with these issues, that he ran away. And now he regrets being the only one left. Maybe in this universe, maybe he even thinks he's the only Ultra left.
Yeah, hopefully they do it throughout the show and not like Omega where they waited pretty much till the end.
Yeah.
Probably, say something about his amnesia.
Yeah, except here it's not amnesia. He's well aware of stuff. Mm-hmm. What I would like to see, maybe this is the way they could do it, because I said before when we were just talking about the trailers that I had heard rumors that other Ultras were going to appear in this, and maybe the way you'll work it in narratively is they're showing up to let him know he's not the only one left. Maybe in his universe he is, but not in the multiverse.
Who do you think the first Ultra that shows up will be?
That is a really good question. As if they do go that route, I could see
it be Zero or Omega.
I could see Zero, because Zero is popular. I could also see maybe one of the recent past Ultras, like Zet, maybe Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Dark, possibly. I think Omega would make the most sense because, previous season and all. And I think they would have some similar things to talk about.
Yeah.
I could see that. And then eventually it would be cool to see some of the older Ultras come in. For sure, I think they'll bring in, if they want to do this, I do think they'll bring in the OG because, it's the OG. You have to. Zero, I could see showing up. It would be cool if they got one of the Heisei Ultras to come in. Tiga would be who I would want, but it would probably more likely be Dinah. Dinah shows up more than Tiga does, despite Tiga's popularity. Because they can still use the face actor for Dinah. No problem.
I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and call it since I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Ultra King. That's his name, right? Ultra King.
Ultraman King. Yeah.
Ultraman King. Yeah. At the end of it, he's gonna bring back H12.
Oh, he'll restore back and live there.
He'll restore it. Yep. I'm calling it right now.
That would be interesting. I mean, that would be very cool and all. What I would like to see them do is basically adopt Teo at the end.
Or so that.
Like, hey, your planet is gone. Come to the land of light with us. We'll take you in.
Well, we'll see who's right.
We'll see who's right. But no, all of that to say, I was the first episode I was into it. It struck the kind of chords that I wanted. It was it was really funny and kind of silly at points. This was the most I've heard, most poop talk I've heard in Ultraman ever was in that episode. Because they had that misunderstanding. He's like bending over and collecting manure in a plastic bag, and they're like, "What's wrong with you? What are you doing?"
I like how I said it won't fit. Does anyone else have an extra bag?
Yeah, it won't fit. Because the thing is at first I was like, are we getting a little inconsistent here? But the more I thought about it, is that especially in the next scene where we're just seeing, it's one of those moody scenes again where he's just it's at night and he's just sitting out by himself, and I don't know, maybe like a park or something. He's just looking up at the stars, feeling lonely. Yeah. And I'm like, that's why he's we're getting the humor of the fish out of water. But because he's a fish out of water who is deathly lonely with everything else that's happened to him. So I'm hoping that, like I said, they don't lose sight of that. Now, our kaiju in that episode, holy mother of Ultra. I love the kaiju in this show so far.
It's a very cool design.
This is, me, I'm not normally one to immediately say I'm going to buy the toy of this kaiju. I kind of want the toy of this kaiju because this kaiju was kind of awesome.
Definitely. This one and the next episode too. I love the kaiju in that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look up the monsters really quick just so I make sure I get it right. Keep going.
So far, the kaiju are great. I got one question. Did you watch the sub or dub?
Oh, I did. I did the sub. Did you watch the dub?
I watched the first when it first came out. My kids, they were somewhere else, so I watched it by myself. I watched sub, but then we're watching the dub now with them.
Yeah, I wanted to watch the dub, but I'm gonna be honest. What I heard of the dub performances in the English language trailer didn't grab me as much as the original performances did in the Japanese language trailer, so I opted for the subs.
Yeah, I might go back and watch some of it in sub.
Yeah,
by myself, just to see, how accurate they did it for the dub.
They've been pretty good about it. I just the performances just weren't quite grabbing me as much as the originals were. But here's our first kaiju. What is it? Viologa. Right there. Viologa. This guy's nuts.
The only thing that would have made it better if they made him thicker in the, around the hip and waist area.
Yeah.
And made his thighs and calves a little bit thicker.
Mm-hmm.
Because he looks a little too skinny.
Yeah.
but it's still a great design.
Oh, it's such a great design, and he lights up. I like the big round eyes.
Hmm.
It's very fish-like, and it's kind of off-putting,
Yeah.
especially since I think that he blinks. This is something I've noticed with the other monsters. He blinks, but I think they actually do the blinking in post-production. It's not a practical blink, which actually makes it a little more otherworldly.
Right.
So I'm a big fan. Like I said, I would definitely consider getting a toy of this guy. But
Now that's his name. Is that their race too?
I don't
Or
know. That's a good question. Yeah, because he's one of many. He's one of the ones that destroyed H12,
yeah.
which is the part that I think is really wrecking Teo, because now he's like, great. The guys who destroyed my planet are following me. Let me see. Yeah, it says Violaga Violaga, however you say it, are a species of space kaiju. So it is a species. The subtitle is Brutal Star Bem.
Hmm.
Yeah, because we see multiple ones in the flashback to H12.
Yeah.
Now, you and I talked about this a little bit in our group chat with Chris. What did you think of our first superhero fight with Teo?
Mixed. Um, I don't know if it's AI or if it's the CGI that they used, especially like, when they're down and you can see the kaiju running at them, you can tell it's CGI. It
Mhm.
it really does look like AI,
Yeah.
and I'm not a fan of it,
Mhm. I
but
did. Oh, sorry.
everything else I think is great. I loved, um, when he tapped him, turned yellow,
Mhm.
and the electricity come whenever he shot. What is it called? The tricerium beam now, something like that.
Teosium beam.
Teosium. I love when he did it.
He's like
He had
this.
his hand in front, and then
Yeah.
it shot back so much, and he had to push
Yeah.
himself. I
Yeah,
loved
that
that.
was so
That was
cool.
cool.
It's
Mhm.
showing that he's not used to doing this.
Yeah.
He's not a
Mhm.
fighter. He's not a soldier. He has to figure this out. And yeah, he gets recoil, and then he has to cross it the other way to catch his own arm. And I like the fact that he just glows a little bit to summon the
Mhm.
energy. It's not a full-fledged like mode swap. Even like Tiga, where all Tiga did was just change color. They would get a
Yeah.
different suit actor to suit whatever, no pun intended, to suit what he was, what was going on there. And you can tell that they have different suit actors, because one of them looks like a bigger dude, under the suit. But still, I like I like that. And there's little bits of, we were talking before about some of those like weird things going on behind the scenes with Supro. And one of them being that, they were letting a bunch of people go and stuff like that. Well, it's also that they're trying to push away from taking more of the Bandai mandates. They actually kind of did it a bit in this, probably not as much as Blazar, but like you'll notice that the Teo Star, his transformation device, it doesn't have some goofy gimmick that would be great for a toy. All it is he just has this thing and he hits the button and it lights up and makes a noise and things like that. That's it. No
Yeah.
like cards or coins or any of that stuff. No, it just hits a button in the center and he's done. So that was a part of this. I looked into it. As for I think it's just wonky CGI, because from what I could tell, they didn't use AI for this. I really hope they didn't, because I wasn't a fan
Mhm.
of it either. So I think it's just wonky CGI, like I said.
Yeah.
And let's keep it that way. That I do like what they were doing. It's that kind of thing they've done before with the camera really low, like at a ground level, and then you're looking straight up and seeing them. When
Mhm.
the fight's going. I will admit the transition from the CGI to the suits was done pretty well.
Yeah,
But
I'll
I
say
do
that.
wonder why use the CGI for those moments and not just some camera tricks and some clever editing. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It was a little strange, but let's move on to because we got a lot to get through.
Hang on a second. You're paused.
I hate it when this happens. Anyway, how about now?
Yep, you're good.
All right. We got a lot to get through. We may have to catch one of the later showings of ZETZ so we can get through everything. But we had episode 2. Oh, the first episode ends with Poochie, the mini kaiju, him finding him on a spaceship. So that was kind of our cliffhanger. And then episode 2, what?
Did he find him? Yeah, he did find him.
Yeah, he did find him at the end. Yeah, and then we have episode 2, which is called Welcome to the Astronomy Club, that has the same creative team. Just double checking here that I mentioned before. And in this one, we get introduced to more properly to the supporting cast. So the Astronomy Club. This is the closest that we have. It's a basically a college club that nobody, that almost nobody wants to join, and they've barely kept it going. So it's a group of kind of eccentric college kids, some of whom are Ibuki's classmates. And it's basically, we see them, kind of, he gets roped into joining the club because he's trying to hide Poochie. Because he takes pity on Poochie. And he's trying to keep him safe, and he tries to hide him in the room for the astronomy club because he doesn't think anyone will be there. And there's 3 or 4 other kids, college kids who still meet in there. So we have all of the awkward comedy of him trying to hide Poochie. And then we get this weird kind of like Quentin Tarantino thing where they played around with the timeline because it gets revealed, oh, we already know about Poochie. He's like, huh? How do you know? What? So like all of the shenanigans he was going through to try to hide Poochie didn't mean anything because they had all had individual encounters with Poochie. And then they're like, oh yeah, I bumped into Poochie when this happened. And we get quick flashbacks to that.
I loved it when I loved Timu Ludi Lim's reveal of whenever he was sleeping beside him and he had the blanket and he kept pulling it away and he's like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah. But we don't know a whole lot about Poochie or why Poochie is, we don't, even with the new episode, because it the last week and this week is kind of a 2-parter because last week's ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And so we don't know exactly what's going on with Poochie other than we find out, I can't remember if it was last week or this week, but Poochie's being I think it was this week, but Poochie's being targeted by the other kaiju.
Yeah.
And the impression is that Violaga is there not looking for Teo, which I thought would have been kind of cool. It's like, that sounds like a great idea for like a warrior race where they go around and they ravage planets and either destroy the planets or conquer them, but they have to wipe out the entire population. And if there are any survivors, they cannot allow survivors to exist. So they will doggedly chase after any survivors to kill them. So that, because only then do they feel like their conquest is complete or something like that. Like, I'm saving that. You can't, nobody watching or listening to this is allowed to steal it. It's mine. Can't have it. But anyway, but it looks like they're after Poochie. We still don't know exactly why they're after Poochie. However, if you've paid attention to any of the promotional stuff, because they gave this away advertising the toys, Poochie can turn into a big mean kaiju.
I wish they would not have revealed that.
I wish they wouldn't have either, but because I think, because now that I know that, I'm just waiting for it to happen. Like, just get it over with. Do it. Like, I was expecting it to happen this week, but we'll get into that. So we have all the shenanigans. We haven't gotten as much with all of these supporting characters as I would like so far. I like this group, but I need more time with them to fully understand all the dynamics. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because so far I think it's just the main girl who's the quote unquote president of the university.
Yeah, and I call dibs on her.
I don't blame you. And I see what they're trying to do with the rest of these characters. And let me see. I'm trying to find them. Emma. Emma Kazama. She's the club leader. And then we have Kana, who's like kind of like a goth girl a little bit, much more stoic. And then we have Rentaro, who's like the cool guy, you know.
Yeah, the cool, mysterious guy.
Yeah, the cool, mysterious guy. And then we have Wataru, who's like the club eccentric. He's a little weird, a little goofy. And then I think, do we get introduced to the scientist guy this week or last week? I think it was this week.
I'm pretty sure it was last week.
Last week, yeah. So Junpei, because he's a professor at the university and he's studying kaiju. He's a little odd. And we also get introduced to Kyoko Shiga, who's a government agent. And I swear the actress playing her, what is it? Rila? Yeah, I think it's Rila Fukushima. I swear they cast her because she has an odd look to her.
Yeah, I could tell people will be intimidated of her.
Yeah, she has an unusual look. I think it's like, I feel like her eyes are a little farther apart than normal. I think that's what it is. And she looks very fierce because of that. But yeah, so we're introduced to basically everybody. The only one that I feel like we get adequate characterization with so far is Emma. And I'm hoping that as we go on, at least out of the astronomy club, Junpei and what did I say her name was? The Kyoko. We get a pretty good idea of who they are, especially this week. We get a lot more with them. But I need more with the astronomy club to fully understand the dynamics. But I see what they're trying to do with them. It reminds me a bit of the Science Patrol from the original show, except the personalities have kind of been swapped around a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's not a 1-to-1 for sure, but like I said, I just want more time with them. I like what I've seen so far. And hopefully they take advantage of these personalities.
I really wish they would make the first episode a special episode and do it like, 45 to 50 minutes. Just make it like a little longer.
Double length episode.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would do that sometimes. I think it might help.
I think it would help at least to establish the characters, the main cast.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes I wish they would do that with final episodes too, because sometimes I think they need to be a little longer.
Yeah.
To kind of wrap things up. But yep, so we have all of those shenanigans, and then we get Violaga. Looks like we think at first that Violaga resurrected itself and came back. We find out later that in this week that nope, it's a different one. And we also get introduced to Sodera. Looks like it's this kind of pterodactyl looking space kaiju. So it looks like, oh crap, we have two monsters. Poor Teo has got to fight two of them at the same time. And that's our cliffhanger. Which is a pretty good cliffhanger. So do we just want to jump
do you think so?
The cliffhanger?
Yeah, because I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it? Why didn't you like it?
Well, especially, going into the next episode, they did the fight, and it was only the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have just cut 5 minutes out somewhere the last episode and finished the fight.
Maybe
I think it ended sudden.
it did. I think the idea was Teo gets his butt handed to him. Because it's a bit of a subversive resolution to the cliffhanger because you think, oh, our hero's got to beat the two monsters, and then he doesn't.
Yeah.
And then we see just how scary Sodera is. And we also find out that there are limits to what Teo can do with the Teo star, which is interesting. So clearly I don't think he's used this thing because it looks like he actually gets it just before his planet blows up in that flashback. He picks it up and just takes it with him. He's not entirely sure how it works.
Right. I think he probably has like knowledge of what the powers come with it are, but he's just never used it before.
Yeah. He's still figuring it out.
Yeah.
So let's get into episode 3 then. Today's episode, the marked mini kaiju. Let me double check, make sure. Let's see. Do we have the same team? Yeah, we do. It's the same team so far. It's pretty consistent. So in this one, like I said, we get resolution to the cliffhanger, and we find that there are limitations. And then we have Kyoko thinking that the Junpei has an entire tail, a piece of a tail of Violica. And that's what the Sodera is looking for. Because we find out Sodera is kind of horrifying. Now, I will admit, am I pausing?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I will admit, the thing with Sodera is lessened a little bit because we had a monster that was like this in Omega. The whole like enveloping another monster and eating it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, okay, is it supposed to be like, does that monster come back or something? It's not. It's a separate monster. So that lessened it a little bit, but it's still no less disturbing, especially since the way Sodera is implemented compared to that one is even more horrifying because he has a mouth in his stomach, and that mouth is dangerously close to certain pieces that would normally be there in most things' anatomies. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, Japan.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, and thank you, Japan, for that image. But it's just like the entire torso just opens up, and you see like a tongue and teeth and a mouth in its abdomen, and I'm like, what the frick? And then it just takes the wings and grabs Violica, brings it in, covers it, but then you just hear like you just hear that thing being consumed, and I'm just like,
It's like what moms always say. They're like, I brought you into this world. I can take you back out.
Given what our mutual friend Matt Walsh, but not that Matt Walsh, heard from a pair of Serbian flight attendants. Yeah, I'll tell you about that off the air.
Ooh.
It's spicy.
I can't wait.
But anyway, so the thing gets eaten, and they think that now, and I will confess, I didn't figure this out as fast as I should have. And then they think, okay, you've got a piece of the other one's tail, because they figure out, oh, it's not the same Violica, it's a different one. Yeah. Also, the other thing that reminded me we have a monster from Omega is the tongue. Flopping around a little bit, but except it's more like a snake. It would come out and go back in.
Yeah.
Extract and retract. Very snake-like. And because of that, the Astronomy Club kids nickname it the Sloppy Slurper. Sure, guys. But anyway.
Such perverts.
Yeah. But anyway, so they think that it instinctively seeks out other kaiju to eat them. So they think it's going after this bit of tail that he has, but we're given the impression that he has like a big chunk of this tail. All right. A massive piece of this tail, if not the entire tail or whatever. It's like a little bit, a tiny, tiny bit. It's like, man, it was like, I thought you had a huge piece. It's like, do you realize the millions of genomes that are in this thing? And and I'm just like, wow, dude. Wow, dude. But nicely done, show. Even you fooled even me.
Yeah, that I thought that was pretty great.
That was pretty great. But what he's really looking for is Poochie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I should have figured that. Because Poochie's technically a kaiju, even though he's really small right now. The characters figure that out, and they're trying. So now they're trying to keep Poochie safe. And this is when I thought, because again, we've been spoiled with the toys.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I see what's going to happen. Teo is going to figure this out. The monster, Sodera is going to show up at the campus to try to get Poochie. He transforms finally because he figures out that, the Teo star recharges. So it looks like he actually just runs. That had to have been a long run, too. He runs back, especially since Sodera has a tail that doubles as like a jet engine and a drill, because this is Ultraman. Comic book logic. So, it's flying there, but he manages to run there. And by that point, the Teo star's recharged. Cool. So we know that he has a limitation to his power set that is kind of unfortunate for him.
At least it's not 24 hours.
Yeah, at least it's not 24 hours. Yeah. Yeah. What was it that I feel like I've watched something where they had the 24-hour rule. I can't remember what it is now.
Ultraman 66.
Was it 66? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
What episode was it? When they went skiing or whatever?
Yes.
It was the Woo.
Yes.
It was the episode of Woo.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, he shows up, he transforms. I'm like, okay, I get it. He's going to try to protect Poochie. He's going to get his keister kicked again. And then because Sodera just starts throwing new superpowers out. He can camouflage himself and basically turn invisible and all of this just crazy stuff. So I'm like, okay, Poochie will turn into a kaiju and then they'll team up and fight this thing. And that's how we find out, oh, okay, he can turn into a big monster. No. Poochie helps him, but not like that. And I don't know if I like that better or worse because of the spoiler. But he gets Sodera's attention. It drops its camouflage. And that lets Teo finally get some clean hits on Sodera and finish him off.
I like it. It shows that Poochie is knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming it can understand somewhat of English, maybe. Or not English, but Japanese.
Human language.
Or their language, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping... I'm going to be curious to see how they use Poochie, because on one hand, if I wanted to be cynical, I would just make the joke about how Poochie is cute and highly marketable, therefore Bandai loves him.
Yeah.
But hopefully they don't lean too hard into that, and they remember that Poochie seems to have some interesting story going for him. And to not just lean into the fact that cute and highly marketable.
Every time I see his hands, I think they're boobs.
I do too. He's got the dinky little hands right here, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Either they're boobs or he's grabbing boobs. That's all I can think.
It's his comfort. One thing I liked, and it kind of reminded me of you.
Oh no!
Whenever, is at the end when the scientist and the government girl, she walks away and the scientist looking at his T-Rex, and he's sitting there talking to it. That reminded me of you. And it's funny because we were at Ross or TJ Maxx, and they have this big T-Rex from Jurassic World Rebirth. It's about, that big, pretty tall.
Wow.
Every time we go, I tell my wife, I'm like, will you buy it for me? She's like, no, you don't need it. And we watched the episode, and I looked at her, I was like, well, he's got the T-Rex from Ross. Why can't I?
So you think that I just like sit around and be like, hi, Jed, how are you? Yeah, it's
Yes.
By the way, for those who want to know, this is part of my G Fest haul. So a vintage Bandai Jet Jaguar, because of course I did.
Now, the one thing in this episode I'll say is not unrealistic, but they evacuated the college, and it seems like right after that, Poochie started wandering around, but there was nobody there. I'm like, how do these kids all get out of the school and nobody saw Poochie? Like,
They
that
must be
so
very effective.
unrealistic.
They are very effective and efficient at evacuating. I get the impression that they have dealt with kaiju before, because they have preparations.
Maybe aren't kaiju new here?
That's why I'm
And they're
confused. That's what
I think it
confuses me,
is.
because they have procedures, for dealing with kaiju, because they said like, hey, there's a kaiju, we need to do an evacuation. It's a kaiju alert or whatever. It's like they've dealt with this before, but okay.
And they've got Godzilla, so
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, so I'm trying to remember exactly how this one ended. I just saw this one yesterday. I think I would remember. But the implications, like I said, seems to be that Poochie has people coming after him. Why, we don't know.
Do you think that our astronomy club will figure out he's Teo? Because he pretty much gave it away.
He did. Yeah, I expect that they will eventually figure it out. It might take a little longer than we would like, but
Yeah, I hope they do.
I think they'll start piecing some things together and figure
I
it out.
think-
My guess would be at the earliest, maybe about the halfway point of the show, because I could see that being a nice dramatic midpoint.
Yeah.
And
I think
hopefully they don't drag it out till the end.
I think the cool guy kind of like picked up when he said, I would never do something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. But, unfortunately, this funny little thing that I call drama logic might keep them from figuring it out.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So I would say it's been particularly the first episode for me, I thought was really solid for Teo so far. I'm going to reserve any major criticisms until we get a few more episodes in. I'm still trying to settle it into the groove with this show. I do appreciate how different it is. It's a very different sort of Ultraman, where he feels more like a civilian and is dealing with his own demons, it sounds like. So he's lonely, and I feel like there's some form of guilt that he's facing right now. Either guilt for running away, or survivor's guilt because he's the only because he's the only one who didn't die with his planet.
Yeah, and you can tell he really doesn't want to fight, because he'll stand up and he'll put his hand out. He's like, stop. But then he goes, come on. And then he knows he's got to.
Yeah. Which I think is
very interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, he's not a pacifist, but he's very much a reluctant hero, because he's not cut out for this.
Yeah.
Trouble is following him. Trouble came after him and his planet, and now Trouble is still following him. If he had his way, he would be peacefully existing as a human, taking care of animals. That's all he wants. but
Right.
trouble is looking for him. And like I said, I really like this setup. It's very different. Speaking of someone who has seen everything that Mill Creek and Alliance have released, this is really different compared to other ones. I can't think of another Ultraman where the Ultraman himself, because this is a Ultra in human form, is dealing with a major piece of dealing with his own demons. Like I said, maybe Orb had a little bit. I guess you could say Orb, because Orb was upset that he got somebody killed. I won't speak much more than that to avoid spoilers. And he wrestles with that, but that gets resolved at one point or another. But it's not quite the same as this. That was one person he cared about. This is his entire planet.
Right.
And then you throw on top of that the fact that he's the only one who survived, so he's lonely too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very curious to see what they do with this. And I hope they don't squander this potential.
Yeah, it was a good start. I love the first episode, H12. It reminded me of Dragon Ball Z when you saw how Planet Vegeta got destroyed.
Yes.
All the Saiyans were fighting, all the Ultras were fighting, then it blows up.
Yeah.
Love that. I like the Kaiju so far.
Oh yeah.
I like our Ultra.
It's a
So,
great design. I can't say that enough.
is.
It's a great design.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, me too. So next week, our episode is called Workshop. Watch out. Okay.
Also, one other thing, the ending, whenever it pops up on the screen, it has the Kaiju and it tells you how much it weighs and how tall it is.
Yeah, the Teo
that.
Navi.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's something that they've done before, and they've kind of brought it back in a different form. Just because I neglected to do this, just so everybody can see. Unfortunately, I don't think it has a picture of his horrifying mouth stomach, but this is Sodera. But this entire chest piece just folds down and exposes another mouth. Like this big plate down here on his abdomen is basically where it is. Do they have a picture of the horrifying mouth? Oh, that's his drill tail. That can also work as propulsion. Come on, where's the horrifying mouth? And that's when he turns invisible. Oh, that's when he eats somebody, but we don't see you don't see the horrifying mouth. That's when he tried to eat Poochie. Come on, where's the horrifying? There it is. Look at that. Oh my frick, look at that.
It looks so cool.
Oh man, I hope the action figure does this.
Oh, it's got to. And if it does, I'm getting it.
I was gonna say, this is the sort of gimmick that you put on the action figure, where the front opens up and you can see the other mouth. But I might be thinking too much like a dirty, dirty American. But yeah, oh crap! There's a close up. Ah! Look at that! Look at all the teeth and the abyss.
It's so cool. Such a cool design.
It is a cool design. All right. Well, anyway, we've got a few episodes of ZETZ to burn through, so that we can watch. I'm guessing it'll probably be the second showing, or I'm just going to back the video up to wherever.
Yeah. Before we do that, we do have some people in chat.
Yeah, we do. That's a good point. We should probably acknowledge some of them. So we have some. I don't recognize this name, but Amasia Journey. I hope I said that right. What do you think of the new Kamen Rider in this year? Kamen Rider, I want to say Myth, but they keep saying Mice. And it sounds like they're leaning into both of that. The design reminds me a lot of Ultraman. It looks like an Ultraman. So it's cool, but it almost doesn't look like a Kamen Rider to me.
I love it. I'll say that. I think it's better than ZETZ.
That is a bold claim. That's a very bold claim. I think I need to look at it again.
Now, is it better than Nox though?
Well,
I don't know.
for you, maybe not. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up just to remind myself what this thing looks like.
Because we
Let
have
me
what,
see.
three riders so far?
I think so.
We
Yeah,
got
yeah. Here it is.
the
My God.
mouse, the cat.
Yeah, it. I can see where the mouse aspects of it are coming in, which is still really weird. Yeah. But like I look at it as like I'm seeing a little bit of an Ultraman influence here. And we're keeping to the belt as a bandolier, I've noticed.
Which I think it looks great on this suit. ZETZ, I
Yeah,
think you could still have the waist belt, but this one, you need the bandolier style.
yeah. But looking at it from this angle, I can see the mouse ears now. So
I swear, his name better be Mickey.
Except
Like,
in Japan, I think Mickey is a girl's name.
who cares? I'll make it a girl.
I swear I've heard rumors about like this writer being a girl or something, but I think that was just goofiness. Yeah, so I'm not sure. It looks pretty good. I'm sure the toys will look even better. But I what we still don't know is whether or not the show is going to be simulcast, like ZETZ was.
It better be.
And as far as I know, ZETZ has been very successful in terms of the simulcast. So I don't know why they wouldn't continue that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I hope you're happy, Jonathan. Okay. Not to mention you actually came in about 20 minutes late. I'm just pointing that out to you. I know. And then loving Teo so far, but still need to watch episode 3. I hope we didn't spoil it for you too much. And then Edwin, because Edwin's always watching. Looks like ZEZTZ is going to be a recap. Mother, we only have like 6 or 7 episodes left, and you're gonna do a recap this late in the game.
Well, it won't be too bad. I
Sounds
could
like
use a
something
recap.
in Spider Noir. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but anyway, you were saying?
I said I wouldn't mind having a recap right now.
Now, maybe, yeah, there is a ton of stuff that's just getting thrown at us all at once here. But anyway, let me.
Hang on, you're paused.
How about now?
Good.
There we go. Okay, I was just saying I can't exactly remember what I was saying, but well, yeah, because I was saying that concerning a recap is like, yeah, we've had a lot that just seems to keep happening on this show, so
Yeah.
maybe, but let me find. Let me see. Huh? This is the 50th. Oh no, excuse me. This is the 47th. Or is it 40th? No, I think it's the 40th Kamen Rider show, I guess. Anyway, I'm just trying to find the list of episodes so I can make sure I know where we left off. I think I might be able to remember from these. So did we see Arise? I think we did Arise. Did we do Arise?
I don't remember.
That was 41. Because it should be. Actually, I think we may have to. Because tonight's 45.
Tonight's 44.
44. Okay, so I think it's 40 through 43. Because we didn't talk about the preview special for Teo. So it's 4 episodes, including 44 tonight. So so generate, arise. It's arise, devour, split, and then a face, which is tonight. Okay, so arise are Mizamero, which is we've been hearing that word all the time during the transformation sequences. So just a quick little recap. A nightmare has launched an attack on Code after Zero informs Baku of the impending collapse of the world. Baku rushes to the Code facility. There, Baku is confronted by Odaka, who aims to destroy Code. Zero is essential. Baku transforms into ZEZTZ and clashes with Nox Midnight Shadow. Yeah. So our writer is Yuya Takahashi. Our director is Kazuya. Oh my gosh, this is a name. Kami Horiuchi. Horiuchi. There you go. And I think the big thing that happened in this episode is Zero dies. Yeah.
And Code is pretty much destroyed, at least in Japan.
Yeah. And we find out who apparently we've had a secret cabal of villains, including the lady, this entire time. And I think don't they even call themselves the Four Kings, which is that's a motif that Japanese media loves a lot, is these Four Kings.
Yeah, it's something like that. And where they all gather in their chairs.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. We see that at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have one of them goes after Zero at the end of this and confronts him and ends up killing him. And Baku's not able to get there fast enough. But he basically stands up to these guys and says, I'm not dealing with you anymore. And his last words are, I believe in my dream. And yeah, he says that a couple of times.
That was the most awkward thing about that episode, too. Just the way he expressed it.
He says it in English?
No, it's not that. It's just he turns around and the camera comes like straight up to him. It's, I believe in my dream.
Yeah, it was a little odd. And then he does it again when he basically dies in Baku's arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was in terms of plot, that was the big thing that happened. Code is gone. Zero is dead. Baku is not having a good time right now. He finds out that his dad was his motorcycle and was a bad guy for a while, but now his dad's not a bad guy anymore. Was trying to help him out, but then the actual bad guys kill him. And he found out that his sister wasn't really his sister. And like, there's all these other people that have died, and he lived a lie for like the first 25 episodes. And like, Baku is going to need years of therapy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's going to be left for him at the end of this. I don't think he has a girlfriend, unless you want to count Nem. And Nem has had crazy revelations for herself. She's like half dream demon. And was possibly a product of immaculate violation. It's so weird. This show, the back half of the show has been so insane.
Oh yeah,
it is so insane. And so we have this. It seems like every couple of episodes now, the show has to throw a massive paradigm shift at us. Some sort of change to the status quo. So we had that, and the reveal of all the Four Kings hanging out. What do they have, like Catastrophe? What is it? It's the lady, Catastrophe, Punish. I can't remember who the last one is. Because I think it's the guy who fights here. No, I think it was Catastrophe here in this episode. I'm trying to make sure I find everything. And we had Sieg is still around, and he ends up having to fight Nox because there was some mind control going on, if I remember correctly. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
He fought Nox.
Phantom. That's who it's Phantom, Catastrophe, Punish, and Oblivion. And then you have the lady there too.
Yeah, Nox trapped Sieg in a nightmare, and then Baku went in there and
Yeah.
finished him
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. But all it really did was depower him.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. The fights continue to be pretty good. The special effects continue to excel, but like I said, the major thing is that Zero is now dead and Code is gone. And it's just the nightmares going forward now.
Right. So
So that was 41. That was Arise, and now we have Devour. And so that was the week after. And we have the same screenwriter, and the director is Kazuya Horiuchi. Maybe it's the same guy. So, synopsis for this one. Devastated by the loss of Zero, Baku is overwhelmed by a sense of loss. What should we do now that he's gone? How will Odaka respond to Baku's questions? Though Baku couldn't shake his doubts, faced with a reality spiraling into chaos, he awakens with a new mission. Transforming into ZEZTZ in his dreams, he takes on the catastrophe gore nightmare. And, you know, I guess you could say, like, the little mission parameter, I guess you say, is dreams surpass nightmares. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember a lot of this episode.
I don't either.
Yeah, other than there's a big fight with, is it Catastrophe? Yeah, he fights Catastrophe in this one. And once it's all said and done, he starts chipping away. Is this the one with the thieves, or am I thinking of a different one?
Let me see. Because I don't remember much about it either.
Yeah, there's a much more involved synopsis here. I don't think this is the one with the thieves. That's the problem with how many episodes there are and with how fast and crazy they get. Sometimes they start blending together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the lady is also called Phantom. That's what it is. That's her nightmare name is Phantom. And Oblivion is really unhinged. Just sits around laughing all the time.
Give me just a second. Keep talking.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like I said, I'm trying to flip through this. If anyone in the chat can help us out, please do. Enters the room system. Yeah, Nox does some stuff at the beginning to take out some code stuff. He has successfully exacted his revenge. Trying to create a beautiful world without code. Let's see. Let's see. The family conjures drinks for them and their allies. Catastrophe. Toss the drink aside. I don't think this is the one with the thieves. I think we've already covered those. Let's see. It's a lot of it is Baku dealing with the fallout from Zero's death. Oh, yeah, you're not even here. I don't know where he went, but he had to go take care of something. Affirm the assumption and added that Odaka ended up. Okay. Marking one of the days and attempting this card. Yeah, so Nox tries to get rid of the Nox driver at one point. They had a bet for a drink. Yeah, I'm just trying to remind myself of all this. I'm too used to just reacting to these live, unfortunately. Let's see. Where it continues as if nothing happened, even after code dissolution, and then there's nothing. but a criminal who used the power of the Nightmare to amass violence upon public. Therefore, he's fine with Fujimi arresting him by law. Okay. Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't remember anything about this episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to flip through it, just to kind of remind myself. So, the people who run the writer wiki get very detailed, and I'm like, okay, I recognize these certain scenes and all of that. Okay, I'm just trying to remember the specifics. Yeah. Oh yeah, Catastrophe picks a fight with Nox and just basically just starts beating the snot out of Nox after Nox basically took out what was left of Code. Yeah, at least their technology. Catastrophe then offered ZEZTZ to fuse together in order to defeat the very fate Zero had given to Baku since birth. Yeah, because Catastrophe actually got into the ZET's room, which was kind of crazy. He's basically invading the command center.
Okay, I remember that part. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. And destroy Catastrophe. I do remember that being a big moment because like, how is he even getting in here? And as we talked about on the power trip, things are getting serious when the bad guys start invading the command center, because the command center is that sacred space. That's where the heroes go to regroup, to rest, and the bad guys are coming in. So that's not a good sign.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Baku turns into ZEZTZ's dream so he can take out Catastrophe to keep her from destroying the ZET's room. And then they end up in a warehouse and then they fight and they fight and they fight and they fight. Let's see.
And I think I do remember at one point he said, "How do you keep changing the dreams?"
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Only doubles attack and okay, so he's using power. Talk about using the power ups to against him. Leaves the entire warehouse almost completely destroyed. Zets and Catastrophe exchanging fatal blows, one after another. Finally, after Zet's persistence assault should be persistent. Catastrophe's body started to break down from their growing powers. And then he did the Rise Great Banish to finish. So he beats Catastrophe. So we're down another, one of the four kings.
Yeah.
But he did try to counter him after that. But he still managed to finish him off. Yeah. Catastrophe defeated ZETZ, announced his mission to completion as the camera pans to the untouched Zero's desk, the flower atop it, avenging his handler and the organization. So that was what this was. Because Catastrophe killed Zero. He went out, and then Baku went after Zero to avenge his father. And by the end of the episode, he had successfully done that.
I do remember the fight at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is when one of the four Nightmare Kings, or whatever you want to call them, gets taken out. So we have resolution to the death of Zero. That was the big thing for what I can remember happening in this. Cool. But here's the thing. When you start playing with a format like this, where you're taking out... Oh. How about now?
Go ahead.
Yep. Now, when you have a format like this, where you have this series of villains and you're chipping away at them one at a time, you got to promise that we have a big boss fight at the end. And I want to know who that boss is going to be. I feel like it's going to be the lady. Like she's going to whip out some crazy tokusatsu mode, to fight Baku. But we'll have to wait.
The end of what was it? Was it Dino Fury when her mom?
Dino Thunder?
No, not Dino Thunder. Dino Fury. The girl, what was her name?
Oh, no, yeah, yes,
The
I know
Pink Ranger.
the pretty one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Her mom, she
yes,
turned giant.
Void Queen.
Yeah,
Void Queen,
Void Queen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I could see them hopefully doing something like that, because otherwise, like I said, we're just eliminating character, villains here, as we go, when they should really be going after the hero en masse, all at once. But we're not going to quite get that. I feel like the older writer shows were a little bit better about doing that. Like I'm thinking of Kamen Rider Black, where you had these three priest characters who get monster power ups toward the end of the show, and there were points where they would fight the writer, all three together, and he had to defeat all three of them before he went to go fight, basically his quote unquote adoptive brother, Shadow Moon, at the end. So it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see what we have here. So then, oh wait, no, that's this week. And then last week's episode was Split, which, if I remember correctly, was focused. Yeah, Punish gets taken out. Oh, and it's supposed to be Sieg's redemption. So it's a Sieg focused episode. Yeah. So a new black case involving the Punish Gore nightmare has emerged. Baku tries to stop Punish from running amok, but finds himself in a tough fight. Unable to bear watching Zet struggle, Nem negotiates with Sieg to deal with Punish. She then confronts Punish herself, but just then Sieg appears. So yeah, the great redemption of Sieg. What do you remember about that one?
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I did watch it.
Oh no.
Because I was checking to make sure I watched it, and I looked at YouTube and it had the red line on it. Did I watch it?
Sometimes it can be a little confusing. Sometimes it registers
Sometime.
stuff as viewed, but you didn't actually see it. Yeah.
Um,
By the
let's see.
way, same
Was this
writer same writer as the previous episode. The director was Teruaki Sugihara. Anyway, yes.
the same episode that Knox was done being Knox and he
Yes,
didn't want to help him? Okay, so I
if I
did
remember
watch it.
correctly. If I remember correctly, because that would have made sense after the previous week.
Yeah, and what's the cop's name? The detective.
Odaka?
He was trying to get Knox to help Baku fight him. And they went and had their drink, and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, if I remember right, that's why Nem went and got Sieg to help out.
Yeah.
So Sieg got to be a writer one last time.
So I remember the first half of the episode, not the back half.
Yeah. or maybe the drink was the previous episode. I'm trying to remember now. Like I said, so much happens in all of these that they start blending together.
Yeah, it's true.
Death Evil. That is an actual character's name. Was that the monster of the week or something? Yeah, it's that robot looking monster of the week. Because he was holding a bunch of people hostage, because the more people went to sleep, the more people he could take hostage. So Baku was showing up and he was saving people by basically waking them up. But then immediately more people would show up, and they told us, like, yeah, there's always people going to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, so we kind of had a monster of the week with this robot, but the main thing was Sieg shows up to be a writer one more time. And let me make sure I think he's the one who takes out Punish by the end. Let me see. Yeah, let's see. Into his Breakum Dawn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because Zets got incapacitated and then he tries to get him to do a fist bump and he's like he acts like he's gonna do it and then he just flicks it away because that's just how he is. Does that part
Okay,
sound familiar?
no. So the drink was episode 42. I
Yeah.
did not watch 43.
Wow. Wow. You're gonna have to catch up because I think
Yeah.
as of last week, Zeke is done.
Oh well. I'll watch it after this.
Almost immediately returning to okay. Yeah, because he takes out punish, and then yeah, it said that there's a greater nightmare is bound to make their move, and now Catastrophe and Punish is dead without leaving. Okay, so and now the thing is that the bad guys are trying to find Neb's location in real life,
Hmm.
and the other thing is that we figured out that Nem has now completely unlocked her lucid dream ability. So now she can basically just command the dreams however she wants now. She's
Nice.
dangerously close to being a Mary Sue, but we'll see how that goes.
It'll be okay. She's Nim. At least it
She's
wasn't the first
Nem.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's again a lot of stuff got crammed into that last episode. Yeah, Oblivion then clapped his hands, causing countless white flower petals to disperse from the blood moon. Petals then erase any objects it touches, and Nem, who gets hit by the petal, changes into her default white attire. It is until Nem turned around and saw the lamppost getting erased that she realized Oblivion had finally made his move. And that takes us to this week. So Nem has unlocked her full potential. Oblivion is a punish is taken out, and yeah, now Oblivion is next. It looks like, which
Nice.
means if he gets taken out this week, we're only going to have the lady left, and we still have about 6 episodes to go. But sounds like you
Oh,
missed
good.
last week. You missed last
Yeah.
week, so I'm just going to go pull up the video to get started for this week.
I've got it pulled up and I have it at 10 seconds on the starting soon scene
On the
or
starting
screen.
screen.
Yeah.
All right, let me get that. 10 seconds. Well, no, wait, there's the countdown first.
Yeah, I got on the countdown. I got it at 10 seconds.
Oh, you have it on the countdown is at 10 seconds. So it's like the very end. I think I think we're at the very end of they've started the second airing already.
Oh yeah.
All right. I have mine at 8. So, oh crap. It played for a second. I'm at 6.
Let me get there. 7, 6. All right. Whenever
All
you
right.
want to start.
And 3, 2, 1, go. I think we're a little too used to reviewing these either right after the fact or as they happen.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to do. A little harder to do than Ultraman.
Ultraman's easy to review.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Oblivion and all the hands. At least it's given us a decent recap of last week. Uh-oh.
She actually came out of her hiding place.
Should I be scared? Probably should. Oh, no. By the way, we got another subscriber according to our notifications.
Sweet. I'll be honest, I think I've listened to this theme song at least once a day, every day this week.
Wow. But then forgot to watch last week's episode.
Yeah, you don't have to keep reminding me.
Yeah, well, yeah, you better you'll have to watch it, after we're done here.
Oh man.
But hopefully we won't have to cover 6 episodes in one episode. Actually, it's more like 7. I think they've tweaked this intro a little bit. There's some different footage in here. Memories flutter and drift and disappear. Life is a series of departures and exits. What?
Exits.
Exits? Exits. Oh.
Yeah.
This is the prologue to the creation of our new world. Okay, this suddenly turned into Evangelion. What? Are we gonna get the butterfly effect? Yes. Butterfly effect. She's the kind of toy he wants to play with. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, for God's sake, has this mild obsession with sin. Oh my when those things turned into face huggers. And then he got shot. The show is nuts. What? Wait, are you telling me are you telling me that Nem is the cause of all of this?
Maybe.
What? She made Oblivion?
Well, Zets, he made. Uh, which one did he make? It
I
was
don't
one of
remember.
them he made.
Yeah. I can use my illusions to make a world where you'll be happy. That's some nice imagery.
It is.
Buildings disappearing in the background. That's cool.
I don't trust her. She sounds like
I
a
don't
Cinnabot.
I don't trust her either. And yeah, Cenobite is a good descriptor.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh man. So that's what the pedals are doing. It's Oblivion erasing the world. Oh, there he is. Just when I thought he was done. I could never forget you, unfortunately. Thanks. What?
It looks
Whoa.
good. Oh my
This
gosh.
this looks like
His
my kind
hair.
of birthday. Is this when he gets the gun? Oh my gosh. This is a kid's show, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna see C going around like is he going around John Wicking people again? Yep. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Yep, we're seeing this again.
You know, I would watch a John Wick style movie with him.
I would too. Eh, I'm very aware of all the tropes. Here, let me throw you in this giant Iron Maiden. You know, this does feel a bit like a clip show. You see
Yeah.
what Edwin was saying. We're getting a lot of flashbacks to to Seed stuff. You're the polar opposite of me. Oh, because only the good people have the worst nightmares. Okay. Is that a forebode it's supposed to be a foreboding metaphor there? I am your father's brother's roommates. Oh, okay. Oh, great. Oh, yeah, 'cause, if that door looks trustworthy. That is a heck of a nightmare, I'm just saying.
Yeah, for real.
Let's change the rules of dreaming. Wait. Oh, we're still oh my gosh, it still is a bit of a clip show. I still don't understand why he turned into a bunch of papers.
Um, the secrets are in writing.
Yeah. It was certainly a choice.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sorry, Jake.
I'm sad now.
The Metal Dawn can be sad.
Sometimes.
Be honest, I feel like I need a flow chart to follow all the stuff that's been happening on this show since,
Oh,
episode 25.
for real. So confusing now.
It's just a ton of stuff is just happening all the time now. What the? Oh.
Oh no,
Oh, no.
not the detectives.
Oh, no. Of course.
So I wonder if it's just gonna be Baku and Nim for a little bit.
Probably. Now I think I understand Oblivion's name.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, no. Well, how are we gonna get our writer action? Unless she just wills herself not to forget him. Or maybe she'll summon him back.
I thought since they were connected,
Yeah.
he wouldn't leave.
Yeah, there's the not fist bump from last week. There's your favorite shot.
Yeah.
What's funny is when I was watching that, I think there was one of those obnoxious commercial breaks right when that happened. And then when it came back, I'm like, "Wait, something big happened. What happened?" So I had to back the video up to see what the commercial kept me from seeing. Yeah, this is kind of a clip show.
It is, but it's a pretty good one. I like
Yeah,
how
it's
they're doing
better
it
than most.
because it's still moving the story along.
Yeah. There you go. She willed him not to disappear. She willed herself not to forget. With her elevator shoes. Makes her about 3 inches taller. Oh, crap. We're going to the first half of the show. Wait, what? Okay, he didn't disappear. She just forgot about him.
I'm your boyfriend, don't you remember?
Oh, crap. What? He willed a blue rose into existence?
He's a magician.
Oh, great. I was gonna say that's her. Well, crap. Why am I crying? So, it's kind of awkward, but
It, just a little bit.
yeah, what's going on? What dream? You made her forget everything. It is a nice blue rose. That is very green screen. Oh, great. Oh, no. We're gonna have another major paradigm shift here, another big shakeup.
Seems like it.
Oh, my oh, what the frick is going on here? Oh, no. Hallucinate? Well, next week is gonna be a very NEM-focused episode
Very, very.
in a weird dream world. Like,
That was a very confusing episode.
yeah, even for
Even
a
for
cli
me.
yeah, and it was a clip show to boot. ZEZTZ is in the flower, I bet that would be interesting, Jonathan says. Oh, the sensibilities and darkness of kids shows. Good stuff. Thanks, Edwin. It was a good episode, guys. Yeah, from what we saw, that was interesting. I'm never 100% sure what to expect from this show week to week, especially after the second half or in the second half.
Yeah.
It's a little wild.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I really hope this show finishes strong. I know last I checked, Chris was really into this. I wonder how he feels about it now.
He better be watching it.
Well, if he hasn't been keeping up, he's going to binge it between now and next week. Right, Chris? Right?
He better.
Right? And he also needs to catch up on Teo. So, do we want Kamen Rider Mice to start simulcasting so we have to keep doing it every week?
Yes.
Come on, where's that announcement? Let us know. Are we getting simulcast or not? We need to know.
You think they'd have let us know by now?
That's what I mean. I'm a little concerned about this. Why aren't they telling us? Inquiring minds want to know. Regardless, that will be saved for next week when we've got, hopefully I'll be able to pry myself away from the wedding. We'll see how it goes. We've also thought about potentially doing some streams after the fact on Sunday nights, just in case, which might be a good backup plan in case Saturday doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can get Chris on one of those. Who knows? But we'll keep you posted, folks. Until next week, we'll keep editing. I'm going to harp Chris about that. Is like, your life is calming down now. Edit those episodes so we can start season 2. I need myself some season 2.
I'm ready to start it.
I am too. And so is Winja the Ninja. But what did we learn this week, Chris? I would say don't fall behind on your episode coverage or you're going to do 7 episodes in one live stream.
And may the power protect you.
Wait, wrong button. What am I doing? Thank you for listening to Henshin Power V3, a podcast produced and hosted by Nathan March and
Christopher Reiner
and Jake Amber.
If you'd like to send us feedback, we'd love to hear from you. So email us at henshin.power.v3@gmail.com.
Follow us on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Thank you, Danny DeManna, where our handle is @HenshinPowerV3, and join our official Facebook groups, Power Rangers Legacy and the Marco Out Lounge. We also have a Discord server called the Marco Out Lounge. Check the show notes for links to all of them.
Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and other great podcatchers. The podcast logo was designed by Rebecca Hutchins. Follow her on Instagram at super_r_illustrations.
Our theme song is a Joe the Hero remix by GVG Kid, which is based on a track from the video game Beautiful Joe.
All film and audio clips belong to their respective copyright holders, and no infringement is intended or implied.
Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podchaser to spread the word about the show. And until next time,
Schwash!